What's going on, people? This Richie Rich coming back live with you, man. Check my t-shirt out. I catch flights, not feelings.
I like that.
As long as you might not know what that term means, but you'll figure that one out later. But
What is the term?
I catch flights, not feelings.
Oh, baby, I know exactly what that means. Okay.
Hey, but anyhow, I'm gonna put my link in the description if y'all want to cop one of the t-shirts. But anyhow, we got an all-star panel tonight. We got a few more guys coming on. I think there's 2 more guys coming on. So we're gonna try to share the mic tonight. Everybody gonna have a chance to start. We're gonna start off with CJ and Kevin Cito and then Miss Lotus. All right, the subject for tonight is Brother Ahmad Abrey, the black jogger guy in Brunswick, Georgia, that got shot down. I did 2 other videos. Make sure y'all check out the 2 other videos I did on this topic. The brother was jogging. They say he went and looked at a house that was under construction, which a lot of people do. They peek in and see the work and see what's going on. That's very common. So obviously they saw him supposedly. The brother started jogging or whatever. He didn't have no tools to break in the house. He didn't have a truck, nothing. He just peeked in the house supposedly, allegedly. And then he started jogging down the street. 2 white guys, hillbillies, followed him, loaded up this wagon with the guns and everything, chased him down. There's a 3rd guy that actually filmed the video. A lot of people don't know that. The video came from a guy that was filming, but he was with the 2 other hillbillies. He was filming. For some reason, he was filming. I don't know why, but that's going to be their dagger right there. If they didn't have a video, it wouldn't even be a case. But now they got arrested today. Thank God. So now we're having the panel. We're going to discuss what's going on. I'm going to start with Brother CJ. We're going to go to Kevin Cito and Lotus. And welcome to the show Flip DR. Shout out to the Equalizer for the donation. What up, Big Rich? Appreciate that donation, my brother. Respect, salute. But go ahead, brother CJ. What you think about this whole situation? I know you wanted to talk about this for several days, man. So, what's your thoughts, man? Lay it on out, man. Are these racist guys, man? Was it justified killing, man?
Man, first of all, I want to say what's up to everybody on the panel and everybody in the chat. Man,
Hey,
the first thing I thought of was the Trayvon Martin case, man, all over again. You know, I see a brother jogging down the street. I see a pickup at the end of the street, and as he's jogging, look like he's trying to dodge the guy that had got out of the truck.
Right.
So the guy that got out of the truck must have pointed a gun at him. He must have pointed that shotgun at him. My first thing would be to take it out of his hand. If I see a guy about to try to shoot me, I'm gonna try to wrestle it out of his hand. You know, that's my first reaction. So as he was trying to grab it, the guy in the bed of the truck shot at him twice. This guy's jogging. He's unarmed. He doesn't have anything in his hand. He's just jogging, minding his own business. These guys provoked him, waiting on him at the end of the street while they partner. When I was watching the news this morning, I come to find out the guy that was following them was an associate of the father, the dad. It's flat out murder, man. It's flat out murder. At no time this guy was a threat to them. At no time he was a threat to these guys. It's flat out murder, man. And it's been bothering me ever since. Because us brothers, we turn it on the news and we always hearing another brother that got gunned down by a cop or another white person because the color of our skin is a threat to them.
Right.
So it's very devastating.
Do you believe he got a stereotype, or you believe they just wanted to make an excuse to kill him because he was black?
You know what? I don't even think it mattered to them. I don't even think it mattered to them.
So they just wanted to kill a black person.
I don't even think it mattered to them.
Right. Okay. All right. So we're gonna pass the mic to brother Kevcito, man. I know you got something to say. What you got to say, brother?
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback a little bit on what CJ's saying. How you doing, CJ? How you doing, brother?
How you doing, brother Kevin? I'm doing good,
All right.
brother. Doing good.
Hello, Richie Rich. Hello, Lotus, and anybody else I might have forgotten on that's on here. I'm looking at this two ways, and this is where I feel like we're at fault. And you're probably wondering, what the hell are you talking about? We're at fault. We got to learn to get home. We got to learn how to get home alive. In that situation, I got two white boys in a pickup running up on me with guns, and I don't have a gun. I'm going to stop, and I'm going to say, fellas, what's going on? Oh, you broke in the house. Okay, call the cops. I'm just going to sit down here. Call the cops. No problem. I will get them in the legal court. I will run my phone, and I will get them that way. My main purpose is to live another day. We got to learn to do that shit, man, as a people. I know what you're saying. I don't want to do that. I'd rather take the gun and just beat the living heck out of him with it. Both of them, to be honest with you. All right? But until these cases start swinging back our way, and this whole MAGA, see, all of this started with Trump, with this whole MAGA thing. It made all these crackers come out the woodwork, man. Their newly inspired racism has just jumped out of them now. That's the way they feel about things. We got to learn to get home. We got to learn to get home safely. That brother shouldn't have been stopped. He should have been able to run wherever the hell he want to run. And if he was looking in that house was empty. The door was open. You could look on any property you want. As long as it doesn't have a locked door on it, that house was in the middle of being built. So even if he looked at it, he could have been looking at it to say, well, damn, maybe I'll buy that house, or maybe I want to get something built like that. There's nothing wrong with that. There was no signs that said no trespassing, anything like that. It was an open house. All right. So they could forget about that burglary stuff, because that wasn't the case. Now, if those guys get anything short of life in prison, then the fix was in. They got to get the death penalty or life in prison. That's what I got to say about that comment.
Shout out to Jackson G. My biggest question, why was the other truck recording? Shout out to Equalizer. We can't let them get away with this. Don't forgive. All right, Jackson Jeter, we don't know why the other truck was. We know he was associate. Now, we don't know what happened before that video started. The guy in the truck could have had a gun too, like, hey, we're going to get you. So maybe
he did him in.
Maybe he was chasing them with that truck, and they was in front blocking him. So he was trapped in. So at that point, he had to fight. Maybe that's the situation. Right. It could have been 3 other people in that truck. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know why he reached for the gun or what. Obviously the gun was probably pointed at him, so he went and tried to grab. But we don't know the whole story. So we're going to deal with what we do know. And we're going to take it to Miss Lotus. Go ahead, Lotus Nurse. What's your input on this story?
Yes. Hey, everybody. My input on this story, I don't know a whole lot about it. I did go back and watch the video that you posted. I'm just exhausted. I'm tired. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of Black men being under attack. I'm tired of, Black men, women, and children being under attack for simply breathing, for simply being Black. I'm over it at this point, and I just want something. I want someone to do something. And I know that we have to keep it clean because we're on YouTube, but I mean, hey, one of us is over in Texas, right? Don't y'all have like Texas law and all of that? I wish that somebody would invoke that in some way, shape, or form.
No, but here in Texas, you just can't. You know, a guy jogging down the street and
No,
two
I'm
guys waiting
talking
at.
about. Oh, you know what? Street law. You know, I want. Again, I don't know how to say it. I'm just over it, and I'm over us not doing anything about it. I'm over nothing being done about it in the judicial system. I'm tired of black men unarmed, gunned down because they scared of them, and then acquittal. I'm exhausted with this. I want something to be done about it, and it's clearly not going to happen through the judicial system. And I'm kind of egging along the lines of we need to personally do something.
Yeah.
Oh, can I
Let me get
piggyback on that thought real quick?
Go ahead. And then we're gonna let Brother Flip get his introduction. Go ahead, brother.
Miss Lotus hit on something that I was talking about before we got on air, and like the Jews got the Mossad, the Italians got the mafia, the Japanese have the Yakuza, the Chinese got the triads. We need our own. I'm sorry, we need our own man that could take care of these things for us as a people. $1 each from the whole population. It goes into an offshore account. He gets that money. When the job is done, we give him a list. George Zimmerman is on the top of it.
Come on now.
Brother Flip, what's going on with you, man? What's your thoughts on this case, man? How you feeling, brother?
Yes, I'm doing all right. Hello to the panel. Thanks for the invite for the tape. The main coming in right now. Nice to see you,
brother.
Yeah. So I mean, this is just another case of white man hunting down black men and killing them, stuff like that. And that happened since we've been here in slave ships. So
Pretty much.
especially in Georgia, not surprised that it happened in Georgia, and because racism is very prevalent over there as far as that goes. So yeah, it's a sad situation. I don't know how the videotape got off. If that's one of the persons that was involved with it, that's very interesting how that came to light. So I was when I first time I saw that, I was like, wow, it's crazy. The guy tried to defend himself, and being stopped by these dudes, and then he gets shot and killed. They would like shoot him, and it like the dude shoot him one person shot him on a truck, right?
Right.
And he could have shot his partner. You could shot. So it's very interesting that scenario. Yeah, it happens a lot, and I think that's why. As far as this traveling show that many brothers frequent traveling, that's why we seek to to get away from America and go other places to get away from
That's right.
We don't. That doesn't really happen in like Dominican Republic. Those cops, they don't play around either. So it's not on a racist tip. It's more of a tip that these guys are like old school. You violate ANDR, they quick to shoot you, and they can get away with it too. But it's a little different order. You pay them a few pesos for some crimes, for some minor stuff. You pretty much could walk away free and no harm them. But you can't do that in the U.S. They want the blood. And then you got to be careful with the FBI and all this other stuff. They have. I heard there's KKK infiltrated these organizations. These FBI and these federal supposed to be law enforcement. They being overrun by KKK members in certain parts.
So you saying in these other countries, basically, they'll give you an ass whipping before they shoot you, or at least they'll let you live, huh?
Sometimes, you remember the guy who was violating the quarantine in DR just a few weeks ago, and he got shot in the head. Shot him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the DR. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
He was like the guy just shot him and stuff, but he wasn't. And then those guys wearing the mask themselves, so the police officers, and more likely not gonna, they're not gonna squall each other. But that's how it happens over there. It happens almost every country when it comes to law enforcement. It's always
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be close.
there's always crooked. There's
Yes.
always crooked in every law enforcement office. I don't care how clean. There's always a little pocket of corruption in every law enforcement. I can tell you that. All right? I'm a retired law enforcement officer, and we had some bad apples too. Okay.
Right.
Can I piggyback?
Go ahead.
Rich, can I piggyback on something Kevin said earlier? I'm the oldest of 11 grandchildren. There's about 7 boys and 4 girls, and I always tell my cousins, when getting pulled over by an officer, never try to resist. Have everything in line. Have your license out. Have your insurance ready. They tell you to step out of the car. Just obey, because you want to get home to your family.
Right.
We already have strikes against us, so just obey, and you'll make it home safely.
Yeah,
Can I answer
that's the main purpose. Go on, Lotus.
Yeah, go ahead, Lotus.
That's not always true either.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
You have situations like that with Philando Castile, who was murdered in the car on live. He told the officer that he had a gun. He told the officer that he was reaching for his wallet, and they killed that man in his car.
I hated that case.
Yeah, that was one of the worst.
I don't care what they tell us to do. That's why I said I'm exhausted, because the initial thing was, well, if he wasn't resisting, okay, so I'm not resisting. Well, if you didn't get smart at the mouth, Sandra Bland, well, if you don't do, she was in her car smoking a cigarette and didn't want to put her cigarette out in her car.
She didn't have to.
Right, exactly.
She didn't have to.
So what is it gonna be next? We're not resisting. We're not talking smart. This man was just out for a morning jog. So it doesn't matter what you do at this point. It's just open season. It's hunting season. And we're the ones being hunted.
Brother Domain, jump on in, man. Jump on in. What's your thoughts, my brother? See, you got that coronavirus beard and cut going on.
Good evening to the panel. Thank you for having me here. Good evening. Thank you for having me here. Coming to you live from Cucuta, Colombia during quarantine. Yeah, I got the coronavirus cut here right now. Barbershops are closed, so I can't get right. But I was listening to the panel. I came a little bit late. I was listening to the panel, and I just want to make sure that we're not mixing up with law enforcement what these two guys were and what they did. They weren't in any way affiliated with law enforcement. They weren't police on patrol at the time when they murdered that man. They got a murder charge.
Nope.
Good. Let's hopefully that justice will be served and they get the death penalty.
Right. So you think they just killed them just because because he was black? Or you think they were stereotyping him and thought he was breaking in or some shit?
Oh no, I could tell you what it was. I'm sorry to.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you like this here, bro.
The white has a thing with what? I'm sorry. This one real quick. The white man has a problem with they just have to be a hero. They got that. They want to be the guy with the white hat. Bro, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Kevin, see there, your internet, your phone is going out. I don't know. Maybe you could.
Oh, okay.
You can go by the modem.
Is that better?
You on Wi-Fi? Yeah.
No, it's fine. My hand was covering the. Yeah, my hand was covering the speaking part. I'm sorry. They just want to be a hero so bad that they'll take chances like that and do things stupid shit like that. They just put that with their hatred, and then they feel like they got a reason.
So I hear what you're saying. I also think that they just don't care because they know that they're going to get away with it. How many acquittals have we seen where, at first it was that we were going by word of mouth. Then, you have videos going on. You can see people actively killing Black men. And it's like, okay, well, initially when the video started surfacing of different murders, it's like, well, they going to jail, they gonna lose their job, they're gonna get life in prison or something like that, but we're getting acquittal after acquittal. And so what does that show? That shows that America doesn't give a F. The judicial system doesn't give a F. We don't have the right to go running down the street. We don't have the right to drive a car. We don't have the right to smoke a cigarette or sell loose squares or any of that without the chances of getting murdered. And so, so that's why they keep doing it, because they know nothing's gonna happen. It's rare when you can break into somebody's house or walk into somebody's house and kill them while they're sitting on their couch eating ice cream,
Oh man.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm exhausted with it. I'm tired.
Black people get treated totally different when it comes to law enforcement. Totally fucking different. Man.
Yes.
Well, the criminal justice system was designed against us.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And I understand that this was not law officers who did this. I understand the role of law enforcement. I'm married to law enforcement.
But they're covering for them, though. That's the difference.
Right. So
they're covering up for them.
Didn't want to arrest them, because otherwise, what would be the delay in the arrest? And we go based on, historically, the white men who kill black men do not get prosecuted fairly. Let me say it like that. So this was clearly, to me, it looked like first degree murder. I wouldn't be surprised if they get charged with something like manslaughter, or get charged with something that doesn't make sense for them to be charged with. So then, they'll get an easy acquittal.
If they don't have criminal records, I think one of them is a retired cop. Oh, usually what they do is they'll give you a plea bargain.
Yeah.
And so we're going to see it'll probably be plead down to a manslaughter charge.
Yeah.
And if they're not getting at least 10 years, man, I don't want to hear it. I really don't. It should be life or death penalty, but they'll probably wind up getting like 10 years.
Yeah, I'm brutal. I don't want to wait. I don't want my tax dollars wasted on nobody sitting up in jail.
Feeding their fat asses. Yep, I agree.
Oh, yeah, and don't give them a needle. I'm serious. Don't give them a needle at this point. Give them a chair, because the needle is easy. It's like going to sleep. You shot this man while he was out for his morning jog, minding his business. So let's fry you. We know that you did it. It's not a matter of he say versus she say. It's on camera. We know that you did it.
This is true.
So all three of them should get the electric chair?
Three of them, I think, is just two.
Maybe not the one that was recording, but he's an affiliate too. I don't even think that he should be allowed to flip and walk.
Right. I think they should prosecute him also and make him roll on them.
He's an accessory, and recording a crime in progress. My ass. This man is out with. Didn't he have on shorts and a t-shirt?
No shoes. Wasn't he barefoot?
He had shoes on. He had shoes on.
He did?
Right. He was out for his usual morning jog, right?
Okay.
Yeah, he had shoes on.
Right. So
yeah, he was jogging.
And that he was out for his normal morning jog. And so, when you go as a jogger, when I jog, I don't have a whole bunch of stuff on me. So he had on, it looked like to me, from what I could tell, it looked like he might have had on some shorts and a t-shirt. So where were the items that he was allegedly stealing? Where was the crime? What was the crime that he allegedly committed?
Breaking into houses. With no tools, no car, no truck.
Where are the tools at? Where is any of the stuff at?
Go ahead and finish.
So if I'm going to report a crime, let's say I'm neighborhood watch, right? So if I'm going to report a crime and I see somebody poking around, but they look like they out jogging, they ain't got nothing suspicious with them, they don't have any tools, they didn't bust a window, kick in a door, or anything like that, I don't know if I'm actually witnessing a crime. And then they leave. They kind of poke around, but then they leave. He left. You know, he wasn't there. He wasn't trying to get into the home or anything like that. He left. He continued on about his way. So where is the crime exactly? What is it that what is it that they were defending?
Their white privilege.
Thank you. That's it. That's it. So
Their white privilege.
yeah.
This guy probably wasn't even committing these crimes.
Right.
He probably wasn't even the one committing these crimes.
Didn't commit the crime.
You know what it is, though? When we have somebody commit a crime against us, we want the exact person that did it. The white man don't care as long as they black. All right, that's the difference. They don't care.
Description of somebody that's breathing. They got eyes, nose, and the mouth. So I'm gonna slam you on the ground, drag you around, pull out my gun, and I'm gonna shoot you.
Exactly.
All right, this is a good comment right here, and I started to touch on that. Shout out to 100. 100. He said, let's keep it 100. Traveling won't fix black men's problem. Try removing the America from your passport and see how great you're be treated. Same as Haitians in DR and Africans in China and Mideast. And I mean, he brings up a good point. Like, I know a lot of people say, that's why I'm moving out of here. Well, racism exists. You can't hide from racism.
Right.
It's gonna be everywhere, you know. These other countries.
Nobody's saying. No, first of all, you ain't gonna be able to move American from your passport, period, point blank. So I don't deal with the hypothetical. Nobody's arguing in this moment that there is no racism in certain places in the world. That's not the point. The point is, two citizens rolled up on another citizen because they felt as though they had the right to kill that man, and we all know what it was. He was black. Yeah. It's all about racism. Now,
that's it. Flat out.
People who want to argue and say, oh, you know, even if you go to another country, you can get killed. True, but show me one case, point to me one case where people are targeting black people as citizens and just killing them because they thought they committed a crime.
Right.
Now, someone said to me the other day when I brought this subject up, well, you know, this political leader was black Colombian and he got killed. Bro, it don't matter if you're black Colombian, mestizo Colombian, white Colombian. Politics in Colombia is a deadly. They killing all colors of Colombians in politics, not just targeting blacks. This was specific targeting a young black man jogging, and these two rednecks thought, oh, we gonna do something about this. We gonna take the law in our own hands like we always been doing with the good old boy network. I know how it is out there. I lived out there. So that ain't got nothing to do with traveling. Even if you do move to another country, at least people ain't gonna be having guns. And the probability, I had a conversation earlier today. Someone was like, you know, this guy was arguing with another white American was arguing with another black American in another country. I said, you know what? If it happens, I prefer it to happen in a foreign country than in the United States, because the probability of a white man stepping up and trying to argue with me or start trouble with me outside the country, him having a gun, ain't going to, chances are he's not going to have a gun. But in the United States, we already know when they start breaking bad and they start talking all this and trying to challenge you to a fight, it's either because they got a gun and they ready for you, or somebody around them got a gun and they're ready to kill you. Other than that, they ain't gonna just challenge you to a fight and try to harass you without guns.
Question, brother Domain.
That's right.
You've been an expat in Colombia for quite a while on different occasions. Now, do you think a white guy gets treated better in a foreign country? He gets more respect even in a foreign country than a black guy, or it's the same?
I don't know. I would honestly, from my experiences, I would have to say in that case it's the same, because every time I hear somebody getting drugged and robbed, I ain't heard of a black. I heard of one case where a black man got drugged and robbed in Colombia, and the rest of the cases they weren't black. So there you have it like that.
I'll agree with him. So one of the reasons why I feel comfortable traveling in other countries is because I am black. So like I typically don't worry about being, and I used to travel alone quite a bit. So I did not worry about being kidnapped and all that kind of stuff with me traveling alone in other countries. Because typically, so my running joke was that don't happen to Black people in other countries. That typically happens to white people because they love to flex their privilege in other countries, and so people do stuff to them. So that's just the back secondhand what you were saying.
Yeah, like she was saying.
Hold on real quick. Let me give a shout out to Brother Marquise on the Cash App donation. He says he never experienced racism abroad. Shout out to that brother. Go ahead, CJ.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I've been to Germany. I've been to Southeast Asia, the Caribbean, Colombia. This is the racist place I have ever been. The United States of America. The way we get treated here.
Yeah, now I've been to a couple of places. The one that stands out the most is South Africa. Now, there's some heavy racism in South Africa.
But the whites and the black?
They got black, white, and colored in South Africa. And so I wasn't mistreated, I would say. Once I opened my mouth and they knew I was American, the attitude changed right around. But the Dutch, the Dutch are the ones who own most of South Africa, not the actual Africans. And so white people, the best way that I can say it is that South Africa to me is the equivalent of America fresh out of the civil rights movement. Because, they're only about 20 years or so out of apartheid, which was their form of segregation. And so if you want to experience what it was like in the 60s, right, in the midst of the civil rights movement or right after the civil rights movement, South Africa is the place to go. But even with that, racism where they were killing, not the apartheid part, but like what I experienced while I was there, it was more so of, she's black and she's irrelevant, I can cut her off in line. Or, just more rudeness, more that type of thing. But in terms of shooting people dead, I don't know about that. I don't think that's going on.
Brother Flint, you still there? Guess not. Kevin Cedar having some little issues with the internet.
Yeah, I'm here.
So brother CJ, answer this, man. Do you think or you think they really gonna get justice for these guys, man? Or what you think gonna happen, bro?
You know what, man? Not on a murder charge, they're not. I mean, maybe on a lighter, like a manslaughter, but not a murder charge. They may get 10 years for manslaughter, but they're not gonna get the death penalty or nothing like that, or 15, 20, 30, 40 years in prison. They're gonna get what Amber Geiger got, the cop that shot Botham Jean in Dallas, manslaughter charge, and get 10 years and probably get out in 5 years.
Man, it's so many cases. I mean, you just brought that up. I forgot about that case. It's just so many cases every day, man. It's an everyday struggle with this shit. Flip, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. You hear me?
Yeah. You kind of low, but I hear you though. So what's your thoughts, man? You think they gonna arrest these guys? I mean, you think they gonna charge them or what, man?
Well, how much that guy that supposed to be that shot the black man in Florida because his woman parked in the dude's woman parked in the handicap. How many years they gave him?
Damn, man. Like I said, y'all bringing up these cases.
25
about these
life.
cases. How many?
He got about 25 to life. He got served.
Well, maybe that might be good, and maybe maybe it might change a little bit. It might give those guys the same type of years, but not likely. Even though we were surprised by that many years, especially in Florida too, which is considered the South, right?
Which
So,
case was that?
the handicap parking when the woman was the black woman was parking on the handicap and the white man watching it. He acted like, "Hey, you parked there." And dude came out. Her boyfriend came out and pushed the dude, the white man, and he shot him.
Oh, I didn't even know about that one.
Say, Richie Rich. The reason why it's not going to be murder because the black guy was wrestling with him to get the gun out of his hand. You know the attorney going to try to bring that up.
Is Georgia a stand your ground state?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
It's not. No, I don't think so. It ain't like Florida, but I mean, stand your ground is you could do that in any state pretty much. I mean, you basically
but Florida
yourself.
pushes that stand your ground. It's loosening up, but
that's really hard.
Yeah, because that's a law made for white cowards to have
the right to kill. Yeah, right.
Made.
That's it. That's it.
Because I keep a gun in my glove compartment when I go out. If I get pulled over by cops and I just show them my shield, my retirement shield, I don't tell them about no firearm or nothing. If they ask me, then I tell them, but I'm not volunteering shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Kevin Cito, you spoke earlier about brothers coming home safe. So, I mean, that makes a lot of sense, man. Like, you know, if you get pulled over, can you give people an example of what they should do, like when they get pulled over and shit, man? So,
oh hell yeah! I'm gonna tell you what I do. Even though I'm a retired officer, I'm still a black man, so I'm still subject to getting shot or beat up or arrested out of my car. So what I do is this: when I get, sometimes I like to speed. I'm a sports car freak, so. I got pulled over one time. I was doing about $120. All right. He got me on that. So I pulled over. I turned on the interior lights. I turned off my car. I put my license, registration, and insurance card on the dash. Okay. I put my hazard lights on. I rolled down the windows enough. I don't have to roll them all the way down. I rolled it down halfway. Okay. And I put my fingers pointing up, both of them on the steering wheel. I shouldn't have to make his dumb ass safe, but I'm doing it for me.
Yeah.
So just do that and don't argue with them. Say, how you doing, officer? Why'd you pull me over? Say, why'd you pull me over? And then when they go, well, you don't need to ask questions. I said, listen, I'm a taxpayer. All right. You're here to protect and serve. All right. Simple as that. And then they said, oh, you were speeding. And I said, I'm sorry. I had to rush home. It was an emergency. I got my badge out. I already have that out leaning where he could see it too. And he sees it. He said, oh, you're on the job? I said, I'm retired from New York. Oh, okay. Could you just I'll give you a warning. So usually they'll give me just a verbal warning. Sometimes they'll even give me a paper warning. Paper warning stays on there for 6 months. So put on your interior lights, make them feel safe, turn off the car. Don't go and reach for your stuff when they have it. Already have it out on the dash. So that way you don't have to make any. And he panics because, they fear for their life, and then they shoot. So try to avoid all that. Keep your hands where they can see them and have your stuff already. And don't just remember, you want to go home. You want to go home safe. If the officer still violates, leave your phone on record. Or if you got a camera, like I got a camera built front and rear of my car, leave it on there and leave that sucker on. And then you take it to court. All right. So you could live to fight another day. Sometimes you got to bury your warrior spirit. As a black man or woman, you got to put your warrior spirit in your back pocket for a minute.
Yeah.
Just so you could be safe. Because I'm not trying to get killed before my time. I'm not, especially by no goddamn cop. And I used to be a cop. No, I had to pull out my gun one time in my whole 20-something years. But these crackers, they can't control themselves.
Right. They pull out the gun for damn speed ticket or
Oh.
jumping the turnstile and shit. Shout out to Ron Lewis
Yeah,
Jr.,
they say
man.
they're scared.
Reality is to be aware, be alive. Shout out to Bellagino. Negroes swear voting doesn't matter. It does. Well, I mean,
No, it matters.
Vote for
It
who?
matters.
yeah,
What's
I
the
mean, that's
question?
a whole nother live. Go ahead, Flip.
Vote for who is funny.
Vote for anybody except for that sucker that's in the White House. He's gonna drag us into a nuclear conflict.
I know,
Please.
but Hillary wouldn't have been
You
better.
want him to
herself.
be president again?
But Hillary wouldn't have been better. Look what she did. She took Haiti money and kept it and built up a big bank account with that, right? So
She still would have been better. At least she knows politics. She still would have been better than that idiot. He's an idiot.
Right. They giving all this money.
He worries about. Think about what he represents.
Yeah.
You mean you haven't?
He thinks about the press. He thinks about the press more than this job.
Right.
Like oh, fake news, or you're a bad reporter. Who does that? If Obama was in office while this pandemic was going on, do you think he would be going through all of this shit?
Lotus Nurse.
Yes.
How you doing? I ask you a question. You think that treatment by disinfecting or was good? That would what's the name? Recommended the Trump.
Yeah, if you want to die.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you've seen all the memes with, the Clorox pills and the Lysol shake and all of that kind of stuff. No, disinfectant. I mean, that was an absurd comment, but we're accustomed to him making absurd comments. So, but I mean, there is a group of people out there who listen to him closely and do exactly what he says. So who knows? Those be determined to be COVID related deaths too then?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, like as far as the vote thing, man, I mean, me personally, man, I don't vote, but I'm voting this time. I'm voting anybody besides fucking Trump, man. Yeah. And I hadn't voted in a long time, but I gotta vote against this guy, man. But what you think, the man? You want him back in?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He's not impressing me, and his intelligence level every time he opens his mouth and showing what he says. And I'm like, but one thing more importantly, besides voting for the presidency, you got to take part in your local elections as well, too. Just don't be married to the Democratic or the Republican Party. You got to have an agenda.
That's right.
To see who's going to serve your agenda the best. I mean, unfortunately, voting in the United States is like voting for the lesser of two evils. Yeah, you're going to die, but how you want to die? You want to die by firing squad or hangman's noose? So you got to choose the lesser of the two pains. But at least you got to try from there. I mean, that's how I look at it.
Right. Okay. So, brother CJ, man, what we need to do as black people, man, march with these signs, man. What we gonna do, man? How we gonna make a change?
Man. You know what, man? I can't answer that question, man.
I'll answer it for you.
I don't think
you want me to answer it for you?
I don't think nothing's gonna change.
I'm gonna tell you how we're gonna make change and how we can make change. Because at the end of the day, when you take color, race, and everything out the picture, it's about money. Mm. It's about money. Building your economics up, man. All right? Because the thing about it is we don't get respected because we don't represent much in the fucking economy. All right, 10% we spend all money on bullshit. We don't have nothing. All right. Now if we put our money together, we band our money together and we talk to these politicians, we get them in there, and we got our own court system, we got our own, we get people elected in and stuff like that. But it comes down to money, man. You gotta own shit for people to respect you, man. People don't respect us, man. Because we ain't got shit, bro. And, I mean, what you think?
Well, why do you think we ain't got shit, though?
Because we consumers, man, we don't fucking invest in nothing, man. You know? If we start owning shit, then people start respecting us a lot more. Just like you say, we go to these other countries and they respect us. They respect us because they feel like we got money. You see what I'm saying? When you got money, you get respect. It's just like the president. Everybody respected him back in the days and now because he's got money. You see what I'm saying? That's why they voted him in, because they figured he would be the one to save the economy. You know, he knows about money. It's about money, bro. That's it, bro. If we get our shit together, you know what I'm saying, start hanging out on corners, get jobs, start working, buying shit, owning property, then we'll have a little more respect. I'm not saying that's gonna fix everything, but money holds a lot of weight, bro. Like, for real. But go ahead, man. You look like you want to say something.
Yeah, I'll say briefly, the problem why we don't have much now is because we've all been basically programmed with the ideal, go to school and get a job. Now, I'm not saying getting a job is a bad thing, but what I'm saying is we need to be thinking about investing, stocks, and business ownership. That getting a job is something of the past. I had a conversation with somebody earlier today, and they were talking about, you know, the United States is better than other countries because the United States, we always got jobs. And I said, if you want to be a wage slave, go ahead. But it ain't about having jobs. I mean, yeah, you got to have a job if you coming from nothing to get your start. But the end game is not to get a job. Be an owner.
That's very true, man. We spend many people spend the rest most of their life working 9 to 5 or the 2 week, how many week or month vacation in a year, and then the rest is work, and then you have the weekends off if you're fortunate. That's not life. Until then you retire when you up there age already, you can't really enjoy life that much.
Right.
Right. Shout out to Equalize. He said, Rich, I agree with you 1,000,000%. We have to build our own economics in the Black community. With money comes power, and with power comes respect. Absolutely, bro. We have to build our economy. We have to build our communities, man. We don't even have communities, man. We don't own shit. We don't own no fucking banks. We don't own no fucking grocery stores. You know what I'm saying? The Chinese are in our community with all these businesses and different
Black-owned banks.
We don't have shit. Yeah, we do got some black-owned banks, but a lot of them,
few and far in between.
a lot of them, you know, some bullshit. Like they had one here in Atlanta. I forgot the name of it, but this fucking place closed down. I mean, the customer service wasn't great. And I'm not saying support a black business it's not a good business. I'm not saying just go in there, support them, and they not giving you what you want. You got to support good black businesses. And if you go out and actually research and search for these businesses, they have them. You know what I'm saying? They have black nail salons and black, not too many beauty supplies, but if you go out and search different places, you can find these things. You know what I'm saying?
It's interesting that you said that, because a couple of years ago, I was doing a project where I was trying to solely buy black. I was inspired by a book that I read where this lady from the Chicagoland area bought everything black for 1 year. It doesn't matter if it was groceries, general products that she needed for the home, getting her hair done, clothing for her kid, and all of that. So, and she listed all of those businesses in that book. And I attempted to shop at many of them for the things that I needed, and they had already closed because, you know, black businesses tend to go out of business because we do support, but you know, because they're working on their own and not as a co-op or cooperatively with a bunch of other black businesses, they tend to go out of business quicker. And so I literally made an active effort to buy as much as I could black. I wasn't able to find a black-owned grocery store like what you were just saying. I had to drive way to the other side of town for a black coffee house, but I was committed to doing this, so I did it. I was looking for a black-owned gas station, couldn't find one here. There is
Find a white one.
Wisconsin. But so
So
I was doing the research on it. There is one that's up in Wisconsin. There's a couple of black-owned hair, like beauty supply houses here in Chicago. And I was in a situation where I could pay more money. So I was willing to pay because they did have a little bit of a higher price. But again, that's because it's not so many of it, and it's difficult to get into that industry. Because like you said, we're going up against the Asians with that, you know, and there is a whole bunch of them, and they done had it on lock for a long time. But just you know, looking for black-owned clothing stores and all of this, it is difficult. And so if anything, I forget who it was that was saying that we were told to go to school and get a job and go to college. Go to college and get a good job and all that, and it's producing workers. You're absolutely right. So for my child, I'm saying things to her like, you can get a job, but just remember that you're always going to be the one receiving a paycheck from somebody else. And I'm trying to encourage her to be the one that's writing the paycheck. You know, open up a business in our community and employ people from our community. So I'm of the mind that we need to police our own communities. You know,
Can we be realistic here, y'all?
What's up?
I mean, look how many, we are not in Atlanta, Rich. I'm in Dallas, Texas. There's other blacks in Orlando, Florida, Miami, New Orleans. We're not in Atlanta where the whole city is black owned everything. Black people don't have the opportunities. We don't get the opportunities that other races get. Look at the educational system in these hoods. You know what I'm saying? Most of all people are living in poverty. Where they gonna get all this money from to start their own business? Come on, y'all. Let's be real here now.
Hey, what I'm saying though, CJ, is right. Instead of walking into that white flower shop or that Chinese, if you know there's a good black one, make it a point to go over there. Now, if it's not a flower shop that's black owned in your state, then hey, I get it. Go to the white man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is if there is a good black business near you and you need their services, then use it. I'm not saying like don't buy nothing because it ain't black owned. I'm not saying that, bro. But you gotta pay attention to the certain companies that like Chinese people, they won't hire black people to work in these places. But I'd rather spend my money with a white man than a Chinese guy that ain't gonna put nothing back in the community. I mean, you know. But go ahead, whoever wanted to jump in.
So I think what you were saying, Rich, was to just basically make an effort. So that's all I was saying, is that if, like Rich just said, that, for example, I want to go get some coffee, and I know that Starbucks is right here on the corner, but I also know that Sip and Savor is 3 Sip and Savor locations over on the south side of Chicago. You know, if it's not too much to drive over there to get coffee, then just or if I know that there's a black-owned beauty supply house in the area, then make that a go there. And so I was trying to remove as much of my money as possible. I know that it's not 100% possible, but I was trying to circulate as much of my money as possible through black hands. And I know that you can't do that 100% because, of course, everything that I need is not going to be, I'm not going to find everything that I need in a black-owned business. But I was trying to get as much as I could. So that was how I was trying to, you know, evoke some type of power or promote power in the black community.
Right. And it starts with small razor-blade cuts, man, you know, to open this shit up. A lot of people don't believe that black people can rise up in this economy, man, but I believe we can because we spend a lot of money in this economy. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to put it in the right place, man.
You made a good job. Look at that stimulus check. I know people probably really need it, but those who didn't need it, they could have like look at me invest in this. And there's so many apps right now, like even the Cash App I noticed have where you can get into stock just by that app alone. So that's interesting. You know.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? What do you think we should invest? What do you think about these little apps that encourage investing? Is that a scheme now, or is it something legit?
I think that is legit. I'm heavily investing right now, especially because of this COVID thing. I think that this is an excellent opportunity for Black people to get a step ahead from where we've been. We're in a situation where we don't have a whole lot of money we don't have a whole lot of things to dispose of our income on. It's not like we can, what's the point in buying clothes and kicks right now? Because we all stuck in the house. You know, we can't go to the movies. We can't go buy up the bar. We can't go and do all the typical shit that we do with money. So right now, and you got $1,200 that you weren't counting on getting, take that. If you're able to, if you're in a situation where you're not, struggling for food and, to keep the lights on, that type of thing, take some of that money and invest it. For the first time in forever, certain stocks are down at $4 and $5 a share, but you got to know that they're going to rebound and go back up in the long run. I follow a couple of people who promote purchasing real estate in the community and teaching Black people that we can buy real estate even if you're on Section 8. You can buy real estate, and like the Section 8 money that you can use that as part of your income to get approved for a loan. Things like that, tricks like that. So real estate is a great investment, and right now stock is a great investment. But you got to know that there's some risk in both.
Yes, definitely.
Right. Go ahead, jump in, Gino.
I said something in the chart. Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? What's up, the man? How you doing, bro? Yeah, I said something in the chart in regards to voting and political
what's going
power.
on?
Yeah, what's up, fam? Some to political powers, and voting. I think one of our biggest problems is that Black people, whenever we have most of our approaches, all the approaches, they're just like one thing, it's got to be this magic bullet. It's got to be just one thing that's gonna fix everything for us. Like people, whenever it seems like Black people have developed this mentality, and I wouldn't say all of us, but some of us, we have this mentality where whenever people bring up something like voting or political powers, people are like, oh, it's not gonna fix. Of course, it's not gonna fix everything. It's just one of the tools you got. You got to use all of your many tools, and everything you guys just talked about for the last 3 to 5 minutes pretty much sums up why you need political powers. You guys talking about the school system and things of that nature. You guys talk about loans and having capitals to start these businesses. How do you think these big rich people, these communities, got good schools for their kids to go to school and get good education so they know the importance of ownership? I mean, it's a big circle, guys. It's all part of it. And no matter what you do, you cannot escape the political effect of it. You cannot escape that. And I can speak from the perspective of a Caribbean brother, Haitian brother, who understands what's going on in places like Haiti in Africa. Why do you think the Blacks don't control that shit? Why do you think it's these Arabs and these Jays? You know what I mean by Jays? These foreigners who control everything in Haiti. The top people that control everything, communication, the ports, and all that shit. They're Arabs and whites. How do you think? Because guess what? During election, they know who's going for election, and they got people in their pocket. They got politicians that they support, and those politicians, when they get in Congress, in Haitian Congress or in African Congress, in African Parliament, whatever the heck you want to call it, the people that make the laws, these people are their shields. They go in there and make the laws for these people to get the ports. How can you guys not see what political power? Of course, political power is not going to fix it all. Come on. And please, somebody correct me. Please, somebody please help me with this. Aren't the DAs and the sheriffs, aren't they elected?
Right.
But you're telling me, voting ain't shit?
Yeah.
You telling me voting ain't shit? This is our biggest problem. And this is the biggest, smallest lies they've told to us, and we've swallowed that pill, and it's fucking us up. Of course, it's not gonna fix everything, but you have to use all the tools, and the tools that you have the best access to, whatever tools that's most convenient, that's easier for you. Guess what? You maximize that shit.
Right, right.
I'm just, how the fuck you think you got the all these laws that were passed during Reconstruction or and after the Civil War? It was laws that passed by Congress. How the fuck you think you had those Black Codes laws, those Jim Crow laws? Because those people in the South, those people throughout the country, those citizens voted for those candidates that reflect the policies they wanted to see, and the policy they wanted to see at the time was Jim Crow. Come the fuck on. It's not. Why do you think, if you think it's not important, if you think it's just fruitless, it does nothing for us, why do you think they go through such length at making sure you can't vote or make it real hard for you? Why do you think so?
Right.
A lot of the times, and let me say this one last thing, I'm gonna shut up. A lot of the times, what I noticed with us Black people is that we're not paying attention to a lot of the things that we should be paying attention to. We are not. Trust me. And I can make it clear as day for you, where there's these people, and I'm not for the left, I'm not for the right. Fuck the right, fuck the left. Just so we be clear and be fully objective. But let's look at those people that tell you, oh, such and such president, the current one, blah blah blah. They want to act like, yeah, the liberals, this, that, and the third. Are these people on the right? Are these people in the Republican Party? Are they coming to your community and telling you, asking you, what laws do you want me to pass? And I'm willing to pass those laws for you. Are they coming to your community telling you they want to change your community? Are they coming to your community telling you they're gonna pass laws for you? Do they have agendas for you? We have to wake the fuck up.
Right. Absolutely, bro. And he dropped the mic on that one.
He really did. There's no contest on that one. I agree.
Yeah, man. Voting, it is important, man. I'm be honest, I don't think I ever voted.
I just voted on a local level. But
I never voted on local level.
I always vote on the local
presidential level. That's whack. You vote and look at. I don't want to be saying the wrong stuff, but Democrats is known for what, liberal laws with the homosexuality and all that kind of stuff. And every time you watch a TV program now, it's being pushed in your face, and your kid, you're like, man, you have to turn it when your kid is watching something like that, and that's what they push. So you supporting that when you actually vote Democrats, and then when you vote Republicans, they have that bad side. So like Damon said earlier, it's the lesser two evils, and so I'd rather not even participate in both evils and don't vote in regard to that presidential type of stuff.
So I tend to vote in the local elections. I make sure that I vote in the local elections because I feel like that's why I have the furthest reach. I don't vote in the presidential election, although I'm considering rescinding on that after this BS that's been going on for the last 4 years. Because I have a complete understanding of how the electoral college works. I don't even want to go down that path, but I don't vote in that election. But I do know that with the local elections is one man, one vote. So if 50,000 of us vote for Harold Washington and only 20,000 people vote for Daley, Harold Washington wins, period. And so,
yeah. And let me say this, right? So I'm not like and what I said earlier, fuck the right, fuck the left. I'm not for neither.
right.
There are no permanent friends. We just have we are just permanent partners in our interest. Whoever has our best interest in mind, whoever
Right.
will pass laws, whoever is willing. I don't know if I'm breaking up, guys. Am I breaking up?
No, you good. Go
No,
ahead.
you good?
Yeah. So whoever. So what Fleet just said, I understand that. But again, though, I will caution black people because I notice a lot of us have fell into that mindset, the wedge issue mindset. That shit don't do it for us. I'm telling you. Whether it's homosexuality. Oh my God, they allowed them to kill babies. They allowed them to kill babies. My friend, let me tell you something. My friend, do you see those Republican um politicians? Do you see their daughters and sons having a bunch of babies? Do you see that? Do you know? Did you know when you don't know when Beth got pregnant by Chad? You don't know if her father, the Republican governor, had an abortion, help pay for an abortion because my daughter's gonna go to school, my daughter's gonna go to law school, my daughter's not gonna be a teenage mom. But they're gonna
Look, I
tell
agree. I agree. They're hypocritical. It happened a lot over there. I agree.
they're gonna tell your ass that you need. And then speaking of that, here's the thing. Here's my biggest thing with these people, right? So they will tell you the same people that have these right-wing views. They will tell you, blah blah blah. Killing babies is on the third. But when the babies are here, are you gonna help that mother? Is it in my back that's gonna get break enough with my tax money taking care of those damn kids? So really and truly, they already know they got the laws set up in their favor. When they want Shaniqua and Keisha to have all those kids, guess what? They already have a plan. Their ass already have laws written for little Jacoby and little Darnell to go straight from school to jail. But you just telling me voting is not important.
Facts.
Yep. Guess I'll vote in the next.
I think we. To be honest with you, and I'm sorry, I didn't want to make it like so political and tribal or anything like that. But when we talking about what just happened to this young man, I'm not saying that if Stacey Adams was the governor, that would have not happened. I'm not saying that. We need to stop being so oversimplistic in our thinking. Like, oh, bam, I got the solution that's gonna fix everything. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
But we cannot deny the actual effect. All of these little things in this country is run by laws. Laws are made through policies. Those policies have to be voted for. They get voted for by people in Congress. Those companies like Neiman Marcus, my homeboy in our little group, he just sent us a message of a news report. Neiman Marcus just filed for bankruptcy, and my homeboy couldn't understand it. He's like, "What the heck, bro? When I go to Orlando in the mall, they got shirts in there that cost $2,000. How you gonna tell me Neiman Marcus is broke? That shit doesn't make any sense." And I had to break it down to him. I'm like, bankruptcy doesn't mean you're broke. It's just a business strategy. That's why Trump had 4, 5 of them. Guess what? Those
Absolutely.
bankruptcy laws, those taxes, those tax laws that Bill Gates out of his own mouth said, look, I pay less taxes than my secretary. You know how that happened?
Come
Because
on.
somebody in Congress make those laws possible. Come on.
Right. They put that shit on. Yeah. That's true.
And then how you think all these business that just got this money for the small businesses that we're not supposed to get, how you think they got this money? People that are not supposed to be having this money that they just put out for the business, because the laws are written. And I think one of the biggest, let me say this, this is on the same topic but a little off a tangent. I think the biggest thing that will help black people, especially black people in America, the biggest thing we need, and I've said that years ago to myself, is that we need to understand not all of the laws, but we need to understand laws. I think that's the biggest problem. We do not understand like the whole law thing, how things become law, and how the society we live in. I think sometimes we just walk around, we just eat shit, fuck, have kids, party, and fuck everything else. Like the actual things that matter. That liquor store that's by your neighborhood, that church
We
that's
don't even own our own liquor stores, bro. I mean,
yeah,
here in Atlanta we do, but most of the time it ain't, man. It's Chinese people. Like, God damn, we gonna kill each other, God. I mean, if we gonna kill ourselves, at least we can do it ourselves. Not a Chinese man. But yeah, man, I agree, man, what you said, bro. Shout
yeah.
out to 100. He said we are protected and treated better abroad due to affiliation to America. The other blacks are considered less than human and have little to no rights. Our number one problem is we refuse to accept reality. I think most people are respected um, in other countries, yeah, because they are Americans. But then at the same time, man, they all think you rich too, man. They have that mentality. Oh, he American, he rich.
Yeah, I think it's the money more our wallet than anything else. Yeah.
You agree, Dwayne?
What's that?
You think they
I agree.
respect you abroad more because you're American or because they think you got money? Well, I know you got money,
What?
so
You know what? It don't even matter, bro. I'd rather have some respect than no respect. Fuck it. Everybody want to come at me, or not personally me, but they the only reason why you get this preferential treatment because you're a U.S. citizen in foreign soil. I'll come here and get preferential treatment. Then. If that's what I got to do to feel respected in high society, oh well. I'm not even gonna argue with you no more.
Yeah,
I'm gonna live my best life.
yeah, I think the man is right. I think everybody's right on this issue. Um, yeah. Okay, let me explain just a little thing that happened to me in Colombia, where I think everything that the man said is correct, but it's also a little different as pertains to America, because in America it's a whole culture, it's a whole lifestyle, it's a whole mindset that black is bad, black must be punished, and we're conditioned, and some of us are not even aware how conditioned we are to accept that. Because okay, so I went to Colombia, right, and I was in Medellin, right, so I'm going to, what is it, Parqueaderas, right, I was going to Parqueaderas, right. Uber came to pick me up, and I'm in the Uber, and as we driving on the road, I'm just looking around, you know how it is when you overseas, right, just checking things out, and I noticed, right, I saw these two cops on a motorcycle. So one cop was riding the motorcycle, manhandling his motorcycle. The other guy was behind him as a passenger. So there's two cops on one motorcycle. So me being from America, I'm like, I'm in the car, I'm staring the shit at those guys on the motorcycle, right?
Fruity cops, right? Fruity. Nah.
Hey, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm kind of thinking that shit, right? Hey, you know, I'm being the typical Black American or typical, you know, I'm being a typical American. I'm looking, I'm like, wow, that's interesting. Look at these two guys, you know, they're on a motorcycle together. You know, I'm like, and his balls all up in his back and shit. Yeah, I'm thinking all of that shit, right? So, the light turned, the light switched to green, and our car take off, or the car's taking off and everything. So, and I thought we passed those cops. I thought we passed the cops. And all of a sudden I saw lights. And I'm like, oh shit. Y'all know everything that's running through my mind, right? I'm thinking like, yo, they're gonna be like, oh, American. It's like we're gonna extort him. I'm thinking like some type of DR shit gonna go down, right? Bro, they made us step out the car. They talked to the driver, and one of the cops speaks some English, so he was able to communicate with me and everything. Check my pocket, check my little, you know, my little bag and stuff that I had with me. Besides that, they let us go, right? But later on, I was thinking about the shit. I was like, what the fuck? You know what I was tripping? I was tripping that, oh my God, because I'm so conditioned in America, this is how they treat you as a Black person. I'm like, man, it almost feels like they didn't even treat me right because they didn't mistreat me like I was in America. You get it?
Yeah.
Like that shit fucks with you, right? You know, cops, they making you get out the car and everything. None of them at the what I'll say about 5 to 7 minute stop. None of them doing that 7 minutes touch their hip, reaching for their weapon. That shit fucked my mind up. I felt like they didn't treat me right because I'm so conditioned in the system that we are to accept and to be treated a certain way. You expect that shit. You know what I'm saying? So in America, it's a whole mindset, it's a whole condition. You know what I'm saying? And then subconsciously, us, because it's a culture like that, we've come to a point where we accept the shit, right? You know, if I can say one last thing, but before I shut up, like, so when I moved to Tucson, Arizona, right? And you know, I'm in the community. When I get off work, I go handle my business, go to the grocery store, go do things and things of that nature, make friends, blah blah blah. And there were times I'll go to the store, the corner store, a gas station or whatever, and I'm running into these certain, let's just say, mayonnaise folks, white people, right? So when I saw these specific type of people, I was shocked. I'm like, whoa, how come a white person is in this condition? Teeth missing, all cracked out, all methed out. You know why my mind is shocked and I'm surprised a white person looks this scary? And trust me, I know, like, you know, in the South, we probably see some crazy white people. But trust me, in Arizona, those methed up, teeth missing people, there's some real scary white folks. Not scary like they scare me, scary in the sense like, oh my God, I didn't know a white person would be in such state. You know why I'm conditioned? You know why I'm conditioned to think like that? Because in America, your mind is conditioned. If you saw a Black person in that condition, your mind would have been like, your mind wouldn't even think about it. It would have been muscle memory for you because you're so conditioned. It's normal for a Black person to be in such condition. When you see a white person like that, you're shocked because you've been conditioned. White people are supposed to have the better treatment.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking on Medellin, you're right about that, man. Last time me, Rich, and Gator was out there, we got shook down at the corner. But, you know, we didn't feel no fear or none of that, man. We was fucking joking around with the fucking Colombian police and shit, man. So we couldn't do that shit back here home, you know that. But it was pretty cool, man. It was pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah, man. I thought I was gonna get because I had some money. I had some money, and they were making me empty my little pouch, right? So I'm like, bro, they're gonna see all these pesos. They're gonna extort me, right? That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, you know what? But thank God I didn't do it because it was on my tongue, bro. Cause I was getting ready to say, yo, you know, why can't we work out? Shit like that. And you know that'll be bribery and shit like that. But I was thinking it already because I've heard the stories in DR. It's one of the reasons, and I'm not talking shit about DR or anything like that, but it's one of the reasons I've heard those stories. It's one of the reasons like DR is not really on the top of my list or whatever. No, but I thought I was gonna get extorted when they see the money. They didn't take a penny, a peso of my money, bro.
Mm.
Yeah, it's less corruption. It's less corruption here with the police than it is in Dominican Republic. A lot less.
Yeah.
If whatever you say, passport gives me a privilege, I'd rather live temporary in a privilege than forever as a peasant. Oh well. Oh well. You only live once, right?
Yeah.
Be to handle
Yeah, I
my
mean,
privilege responsibly.
yeah, I mean, maybe there is some privilege. I mean, we cannot deny it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't really deny it because we know, like, you got that, you got that little blue book with that ego on it. You know, and you might be traveling with a brother. You know, let's say you traveling with. I don't mean to bring his name up. I will bring his name up. This other YouTuber from the motherland, you will see the treatment in the airport or whatever. You might have to go to a different line. You might have to get different line. You might get held back so many, you know, for so long, and you might not get held back. So there is some privilege or whatnot, right? But I think overall overseas, it's just they don't have a culture. They don't have a whole mindset. In America, we have a whole culture. We have a whole economy based on the oppression of black folks.
And I don't know what it is, but other countries, the Philippines, my ex-wife is from the Philippines, and Colombia and the DR, other countries, I don't know what it is, but they was taught throughout their life that the United States is, you know, what it is. You know, that's what the money is. That's where they want to get to.
Yeah.
That's just not, they've always been taught that. I don't know what it is, but other countries, third world countries have always been taught that throughout their livelihood.
Because capitalism, consumerism, and materialism is marketed spearheadedly advertised by who? America. You know, if you talk to I was saying, you can say foreigners or people who grew up and lived in other countries, they can tell you all of the history, all of these, materialistic history. Like, whereas, they can tell you they remember when Calvin Klein jeans was hot. It was advertised to them too in Africa. It was advertised to them in Haiti too.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
They influence a lot by entertainment too, the movies and television shows.
Entertainment. And then who spearheadedly promotes the entertainment? America. They can tell you all of the stuff you guys have had here. It's promoted around the world, and this is why when a person, and now if we want to get into race and things of that nature, you will see like a white passing or a white Hispanic come here. Guess what? He tends to fall in line with the stuff because he's gotten fed so much propaganda, and then he can see the benefits of oppressing black folks. Guess what? He immediately gone and joined that side. Because I myself, I can tell you, I've had the experience in Arizona, not in Arizona, that was in California, Fresno, California. That shit was scary. I'm talking about the dude was a short, and trust me, I'm not being stereotypical or racist or whatnot, but he was short neck Mexican. This dude, the amount of racism and bigotry that's in him is crazy. And I was shocked when I walked up to him, he had just laid down his phone. And you know, when your phone is lit, when you put it down, it takes like 3-5 seconds before the screen time out. It goes black, right? When I walked up to him, the screen was still lit. You guys won't believe what I saw. But I don't know why I was so surprised, because all the comments he was making was really showing you that he's out there. He's out there, and he used to be riding motorcycle. He got one of those choppers. He's riding motorcycles with these white boys. So he probably think he's one of them. Oh well, I guess he is one of them. I guess they accept him. Bros, let me tell you something. I saw you know the KKK hood, the hood. I saw the hood, the KKK hood, but it's red with a black face under it. I know you guys probably like, what the fuck? Yeah.
I know
Like from a
talking,
Mexican.
I know exactly. He got his honorary white card. I tell you one thing though, it's a big difference between traveling here for a few weeks or even a month out of the year, as opposed to living here for long term and interacting with people. Because I'm teaching at an institution, and I've experienced some different things. Nothing that's going to make me just I liking it. I'm just saying I'm seeing a whole different perspective, man. If anybody want to hit me on the side, I can tell you on the side. But this platform with YouTube, certain things I'm not going to speak about because vested interest in certain things. But believe me, it ain't. It's living here.
I know how you can.
Here.
I know how you can get the man.
Exactly. Living here is a totally different thing. That's why people always say, well, you only get special treatment because you got a blue passport or whatever. Listen, I'm not gonna argue that no more. You can have that. I'm gonna live my best life, and I remember I got money like that. I ain't got elephant dollars, but remember, if it was so bad for me in Colombia, well, I can't go nowhere right now because of the quarantine. I could have left a long time ago. That's all I'm saying. So I have a choice. So for me, maybe some people don't want what I want in life, but for me personally, I don't cut my tail and run from racism. I've experienced it throughout my 40 plus years living in the United States. So I have a choice to be here in Colombia. So if it's bad for me in Colombia, why would I be in a place that's worse for me? Think about that. And if they say, well, if you were black, it's a big hit. So okay, so I'm a Black American, so I get special treatment. So it's up to me to use my privilege to help other disenfranchised people, because I was disenfranchised in my home country where I come from. So that's the way I see it. But believe me, it's totally different from visiting here and living here for a long time. Wow. When I finally retire, would I want to permanently leave the USA? Yes, I would want to permanently leave the USA. That's already a done deal. And it's not, oh, you just hate it so much. Now I got to figure out for my future and my children's future, what would be better for my extended family. And for me, what would be better is to have a foundation outside of here. If they want to go there to be businessmen or go to university or make money, by all means. But that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
All right.
And you know what, you know what, brother D. A lot of the people that will tell you, the same people that sometimes rebuttal and tells you that, it's the passport and you have the privilege. And I mean, I understand what they're saying. I think usually, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Usually, they will tell you that to show you that those countries or Colombia ain't really shit. America's the shit, right? Okay, yeah. Okay. So the funny thing about that, a lot of these people, they don't take a little minute to step back and think real quick. In this country here, I mean, yes, you do have these things and shit like that. I mean, it's a really developed and advanced country. But when you really think about it, Many of these people, a good majority of these, probably 70+% of Americans, as we know, and we're now witnessing with this pandemic, many of them live paycheck to paycheck. A
Yes,
person might have a nice house, might have a nice car, drive a nice car. The motherfucker might be using an iPhone 10 and everything. They think they have something. All of that shit is all imaginary. The house is on credit, on a mortgage. If they go a day or a couple of days without going to their job, unless you really have it like that where you have a salary job, you just like me tomorrow, I just might wake up and say my boss will text me, hey, look, I feel a little sick, you know, I'm not working today. I'm supposed to be working right here at home, and I might do that. My check will still be the same. Many people can't even do that, right? Many people can't afford to just miss a day of work, but those will be the same people because they got that iPhone in their hand, they got that social media feeding them. They all in an imaginary matrix. They think they're in some this marvelous land. Little do they know they are 1 minute away from a disaster.
All right. Shout out to Find Love and DR, aka Flit DR. Make sure y'all check him out on YouTube. Thanks for having me on Rotate. Props to the panel. Sister Lotus, you still there with us? You ain't sleeping, are you?
No, I'm not sleeping. I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm listening. I'm listening and taking notes.
Now they asking you about the YouTube page and all that. They ask you gonna start a page.
I am.
They
I'm
love you on the show.
It.
You gotta be a staple on the show. You gotta keep coming on for a minute. Don't leave me high and dry, Miss Lotus.
Absolutely not. I'll gladly come on. I love this. I'm thoroughly enjoying this.
But yeah, I appreciate you enlightening us, Bellagino. Yeah, you inspired me to be a voter again. Richie Rich gonna go out there and vote. Brother Demain, you know about them little peaches you get when you vote. So I'm gonna start collecting them peaches again. Yeah, so shit.
They give you guys little stickers and stuff like that. I voted today over there.
Mm-hmm.
So they give you guys little peaches stickers.
Right. What they doing your time?
That's what's up, man.
Where you at, Bellagino?
I'm in Boston. I'm in the outskirts of Boston. We just get a little generic, like a oval shape sticky with the little American flag. I voted today type shit, you know.
That's what we get here.
Come on, man. Bro, you're missing out on a nice pitch sticker, bro.
You need to come on the judge, man, so you get a peach sticker, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Get up out of that cold. I know it's still cold up there.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to get back to the crib, man. Go back to Florida, man. This shit right here.
Now, Gino,
it just started getting warm. It just started getting warm like early last week.
Gino,
hey, she don't have the channel right now. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Don't be trying to take Miss Florida Lotus from my channel.
Right.
Start calling y'all YouTubers out, man. Yeah. Well, I'm about to let Danny Glover on, y'all. So let Brains George chime in. So I'm gonna hop off the panel. I'm still gonna be here, but I'm gonna let Brother Zaba in because you can only have 6 on the panel at a time. So let me go ahead and let him in. Go ahead, Brains George. He's a nurse also, Miss Lotus.
Oh snap! Who's the nurse?
Hey, brother.
He's on mute. Who's on mute?
I'm on mute.
Oh, you're not. You're okay. You're good now.
Okay, good. I was listening to the panel and I was fighting at the bit. I was like, I listened to what you said about the coronavirus, and then I was chiming in back and forth what you guys were saying. From my perspective, it's going to be a little different. I am Spanish and I am black, so and I have a.
Hold on. Turn your volume up if you can.
All right.
Spanish. You're not Spanish because you ain't from Spain.
Well, no, but When I mean,
and those Spaniards definitely those Spaniards in Spain, they definitely reject and hate the fact that those Dominicans and other Latins call themselves Spanish.
yeah,
But hey, anything close to whiteness is always better.
but you have to remember something. That's how we refer to each other when we're in the United States. We refer to each other as Spanish. We don't say we Latino. We say we Spanish. The only time we use Latino is we say Latino. But we refer to each other as Spanish. I do even when I'm Colombia, I say Spanish. I know I'm not from Spain, but I'm just because that's how we refer to each other. So that's why I'm referring to myself as Spanish because I was born and raised in Spanish country. Now, the issue that I have is that I was listening to you guys for the racism, being born and raised in this country, having my grandmother, her grandmother, my cousins, and their cousins, being from a Spanish country, there's a lot of racism. And
Hey, bonjour, bonjour.
yeah, what's up?
Hey, bro. I know he just told you to pop up the volume. You might want to turn it down a little and speak a little louder because what it does, it creates some sort of like some sort of bass where we can hear you.
Yeah.
We hear you, but we can make out what you're saying.
Bonjour, what do you think about the slaying in Georgia, man? What do you think about that?
I just saw it on CNN. I don't know enough. So I'm not going to put my opinion out there. From my initial thing is I'm with you guys. I mean, there's three of them, one black person. I don't know. I don't know all the specifics, but it seems kind of. I want to see justice, but I'm not going to put because I don't know. I'm not going to put my 2 cents on it. I saw little clips of CNN. As a black person who's been through it a few times, I'm not going to deal because I don't know enough about it. I don't know enough. So I'll have to study more. But I was touching on the Spanish thing, on the black thing. We have a lot of racism in Spanish countries. And it's way more than the United States. And the reason it's more than the United States is because you have leaders. For hundreds of years, you got the NAACP, you have Spelman, you have the Black Negro Fund. You have a lot of areas. You guys have a lot of leaders. In Spanish, you have no leaders. Even if I'm from Colombia, name me one black leader in Colombia. There's none. There's none. I went to Colombia for 5 years. In Panama, part of Colombia. There's no black leaders in Colombia. There's no black leaders in Santo Domingo. Even though there is a Spanish country, there's nobody that tells you that you are more than what you are. There's no Ab Sharpton in Dominican Republic. There's no in Colombia. There's no, even in Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua. There's no black people that raised up and tell you who you are, what you're supposed to be. So therefore, you have a bigger stand presence. But when this thing happens in Georgia, you can have leaders come in and talk about it in depth. And you have, even the woman has a lawyer now because it's on CNN. There are people representing that. When something happens in my country, they basically don't say nothing because they don't have rights. The same way they don't have them in Brazil and black. They have no leaders, and the leaders are now getting their foot in the door. But we're so behind. We're 400 years behind you guys. So when I hear you guys talking about, Spanish places, this will never happen in Spanish countries. Yes, it does happen. We don't because we don't have no voice. And people who have no voice, you're not listened to, and you're marginalized, and you're not heard. So going over here like, whoa, because I talked to my cousin nephew. I have family in Costa Rica. I have family in Panama. So even when I was in Cali, when I talk to black people in Cali, we talk about racism in depth. But when I hear people talk about Colombia, I never hear it from you guys. All I hear is they stole our music. There's no Colombian music right now that's really black, if you haven't noticed, right? But if you remember 1950, 1954, I could go in depth on this, but in 1950, 1954, you have the LeBron brothers. The LeBron brothers were born in Harlem, New York, and they transferred music into Cali. They started the whole Cali movement. Look it up on Wikipedia, look it up anywhere you want to. But the LeBron started the salsa movement in there. They were black. So the whole thing started because of black people, right? On music. You know the word salsa comes from black people. Bachata. Bachata was a state music the state invented in Dominican Republic. But you don't hear none of that on none of your channels. And what I'm saying is we created all of this, but our music is not represented by none of us nowadays. When I go to Spanish countries, I hear it constantly because I'm black and I can relate to people on a different level. But when I hear you guys talking about, oh, there's no racism, there is a ton of racism. We just don't talk about it.
And Bonjour, to say this, I don't know if you're done talking. I'll say one thing. I'll just go back to my point, and I know we want to stay. I saw comments, to go back on the main topic. We will. This is still surrounding the topic. This is why it makes me sick. It crawls my skin when I hear blacks here on this side with so much possible. I'll say possible because it's not activated with so much possible power and political clout. We're shining away to not activating it. It makes me sick. It makes my skin crawl because those blacks in Colombia do not have any political clout.
None. Look, I was in Cali probably what? I was in Cali 2 months ago, and I was going back there. There's only one college in Cali. There's one college in all Colombia that's black. I forgot the name of it. And for black people to go to college, they have to be. It seems like they have to be 10 times better than a white person to go to Cali. Because I was talking to a young lady who is going to college right now, and she said, "Look, we have no representation. There's only one college that is black, and when we apply for white college, we have to have 3 times on the money in the bank, which we have. You have to be a descendant of an Indian because Indian people go to school for free. There's so much criteria against just as a black person to go to college that it's almost impossible. And there's no wealth enough, and so therefore you don't build no leaders. I looked it up in a minute. I forgot the name of it. But there's only one black college in all of Colombia, right? All of Colombia. So when people start talking about there's no racism, it's embedded in everything you do. It's embedded. Black people know that we are zone 1 to zone 6. Like if I hang out somebody's in zone 1, they don't go to zone 6. Like when I talk to most Colombians, they're like, "Why are you here? These are Americans. We don't come to zone 5 and 6. Why? Because they're gonna get beat up. Because they're gonna get harassed. Because the cops are gonna tell them exactly what you're talking about. Black people here, they're getting there, but you don't see because you're American and you only go to zone 5 and 6. You're not in zone 1. When most people don't go to zone 1. And when I talk to them, they're like, "Oh, you don't come to zone. Come to my zone." And when I go to their zone, I'm like, "Whoa, it's completely different." Go here because we don't go to zone 5. Why? I took this young lady to Exeter, and everybody's looking at us. And she's like, "I hate these people. They're always looking at me every time I come in here." And I said, "What are you talking about? They're looking at us because I'm coming with this with this American privilege. I don't look at that. I'm coming. I don't have money in my pocket. I'm in Exeter. I'm like, this is a piece of shit in the United States. It's garbage." She's like, "No, I come in and everybody looks at me because they don't expect me to be here." And I'm like, I'm not paying attention to it because I'm thinking she's full of shit. Because I'm still coming from this American perspective. Not until I sat down with her and I started seeing what was going on. I'm like, "You're right." She goes, "Look around. There's no black people here." I said, "Look around." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She said, "Look around. There's no black people." Every time I come here, somebody's looking at me or going through my bag or whatnot. It makes it real difficult for me to come here, right? But this is what they go through every single day. But you would not notice that because Americans only go to because we go to spend money. Americans only there to spend money. So when I'm listening to you guys, I'm listening from a Spanish perspective and a black perspective, and I speak Spanish fluently. So when I'm hearing, I'm like, no, it works. My mother's dark. Like I said before, my mother couldn't get a job in Panama because they told her you're too dark. And they told her all the time, if you're of the color of a paper bag, you're not getting a job here. We're not putting no black people in the and if you don't believe me, go to a bank, Spanish bank. You won't see no dark black people in banks. You will see them in the outskirts. So it's kind of weird. We don't have the same representation that have in the United States because we don't have the same freedoms. So go ahead, let me hear it. Because I know
you're going in and out. We could barely.
Okay, brother Zaba, what do you think about the situation in Georgia, man? About the black dude getting shot down by the 2 white guys?
Man, let me say this real quick, man. Number one, it's so cool, like the technology. Like I'm sitting up here, man, in my house.
What's up, Zaba?
Hey, man, and I'm thinking, man, it's so good to see the brothers, man. I love black people. I swear to God, man. When I see brothers just talking, we could be disagreeing, but Man, it's just an awesome feeling. I had to say that. I had this. My brother, the main man. I swear to God, I want to talk to you privately to figure out like how is it living where you're living and what's going on. Man, I
You got my
love to
number?
talk to you for. Yeah, I got you like for an hour. Just like how's it going? You know what's going on. But with that being said, the brother who spoke, man, I agree with everything he said. I'm gonna comment on the Waycross thing. The brother who spoke, man, a lot of times us tourists, now I'm gonna speak on the dude in Brunswick. A lot of time, a lot of people who travel, they'll downplay all the racism that goes on. And I'm at the point now where I don't even talk to them guys, man. I'm like, if they don't really understand the dynamics of racism and it exists throughout the world, I mean, some black people almost sound like white people who live in the Dominican Republic. Like it doesn't happen here. They don't, discriminate against Haitians. I'll move on. But I agree with everything he said. But the man, I swear, man, I'd like to know just from just how it is living there because it has to be totally different beyond most people's understanding. But at any rate, man, that Brunswick thing, man. I tell you, man, I'll say this about it, man. A citizen's arrest, according to Georgia statute, you have to see the event in progress. In other words, to make a citizen's arrest in Georgia, you have to see the person doing the crime. Okay? Now, with that being said, they didn't see this brother doing no crime, man. And I have to let me go on a little rant, man. And you got black people now even taking up for the white boys. When it comes to them killing us, man, you got black people like, well, if he'd had the right pants, if he'd have just complied, man, that dude was fighting for his fucking life. You hear me?
Again, because
That
we're so
brother,
conditioned.
just like Trayvon Martin was fighting for his life. You
That's
hear
it.
me?
That's
That
it.
could have been my son. That could have been your son. That could have been my brother. That could have been you. You understand what I'm saying? And you got, let me say this, man. I said this to somebody the other day, man. I have my best friend in the whole world who has been a police officer for over 20 years. He said something to me years ago and I never forgot it. He said to me, man, he said, this is a black man. He said, man, out of all the years I've been in law enforcement, I've never heard of a black man shooting a white boy in the back, talking about police officers and saying, I thought I had a gun. This is how deep racism is, man. Do y'all realize how much money George Zimmerman done made off the back of Trayvon Martin? He is throwing this in our face. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to say it online. If George Zimmerman get killed, I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to have a party and I'm going to have a barbecue. You hear me? Because if they was killing our people, if we were killing their people like they killing our people, bruh, white boys wouldn't even stand for it. You know what I'm saying? White boys wouldn't even stand for it. So I say this, and I've said this on Richie's show. That would have been my daughter, bruh. I'd die for that. I'd be like, yo, whatever. I'm going after them dudes. And until when they look, man, and I'm not gonna bite my tongue when I say this. As long as they killing our children, we political. Until we start killing them and start killing their children, that's when it gets serious. Because white people wouldn't stand around and be like, yo, they wouldn't be as innocent. I'm not saying we should go out and do things. I'm just saying if that was my daughter, bro, I wouldn't be sitting around. And so I know I'm talking a lot, so I'll be quiet, man. That's my piece. I'm angry about it, and I'm hurt. And I have, there's a difference between the word sympathy and empathy. I feel both for that young brother. It's like they hurt me, bro. It's like they hurt me. Okay.
Same here, Zabo. Same here, man.
Yeah. And you know what? When it comes to, because you did bring up the citizen arrest law, that statute. When it comes to law, due to the nature of what I do and things of that nature, again, I'm not a lawyer, but if anybody if you ever work in a place, administrative area where you have to deal with things and read things in that nature, people, it shocked me where, as far as my career field, when I started in my career field and I started taking these classes for these certifications that I have to do. One of the things that I learned is that when it comes to law, like legal statute and things of that nature, the basic common everyday words that sometimes their meaning is so much deeper than you think. Like it's so much deeper. Like there are legal definitions of a certain words that go much deeper into the everyday definition. So what I'm trying to say is that imagine you're the racist people voting these laws, making these laws. You can make them however you want, put any kind of words you want to make it possible for you to just go out and hunt people, kill people however you want to. These laws are not black and white.
Right. And brother, black people should be angry. Malcolm X said white people will tell you not to be angry no matter what they do to us. They're gonna tell you how to be angry. Black people should be angry, and you got black people scared to be angry. A person said, I'm gonna say this, man, on social media, right? I feel like this, man. If I got any white friends on my Facebook and they support white supremacy, I don't need them to be my friends. If they ain't for equality for all people, I don't need them to be my friends. A dude told me, man, don't be posting black stuff. I was like, bruh. He was like, man, you got white people in here. I'm like, they ain't my friends. If they for white supremacy, if they for abusing black people and not calling out, look, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. Even though I'm a black man, we as black people are so loving. No matter what the white people have done to us, we still don't want to abuse innocent white people. Okay? If I see a white dude, if I see a black dude attack an old black lady, I'm gonna be pissed. Okay. But when because I have white people back like that, I expect my white friends to have my back like that. But unfortunately, many of them don't. I'll just be honest. And when white people don't have your back, fuck them.
All right, shout out to 100. He says, because we fulfill our sexual fantasies abroad, our minds get clouded and we have us believing our problems are gone and racism is non-existent abroad. Right. It's almost like putting a Band-Aid on shit. You're right, brother. Appreciate that donation, my brother. Did you want to say something, Miss Lotus? I heard you kind of jumping in.
I did, but I forgot my comment. I'm sorry.
Okay, you think we too nice to white people?
Oh, don't get me going on that soapbox. I do think that we're too nice to white people. I think part of our niceness and our kindness is why we're in the predicament that we're in. That's why we were slaves. That's why we are still, many of us are still low income and in poor communities and in the situations that we in, because we are too forgiving of a people. We tend to, I'm not going to say that we forget, because of course we remember, but we forgive. One of the situations, so I told you all that I don't vote, not at least not in the presidential election. So during this last presidential election, at the time of the election, I was on a vacation somewhere. I was in Asia, I believe, and I was traveling with the black group. There was a lot of women in it, and they were debating about the election on the day of the election, because we were all over there. So of course they were monitoring it closely and all that. So the topic came up about voting and who voted for who and what and all this stuff. And I was like, well, I didn't vote in this election because I wasn't going to vote for Hillary Clinton. I still remember, that they're responsible for the whole three strikes and all of these different laws that were to the detriment of the black community. And I damn sure wasn't going to vote for Trump. So, and I know that we say choose the lesser of two evils and all of that, but I'm not going to pick the gun or the noose, period. But at any rate, I mentioned that, and I got called all kinds of stuff by black people, by older black women, saying that that's the problem with black people. We don't know how to forgive and let things go, and that didn't have anything to do with her. That was Bill Clinton's policy. Well, who was Bill Clinton laying next to fucking every night? You think that she don't have any influence on what the hell he's saying? No, seriously, like who fucking them besides Monica Lewinsky, at that time, seriously, no, you think she didn't have any influence? She spearheaded the campaign, that was her personal little project. And so I remember, but I think we're too kind, we're too loving, and that's how we ended up in the position that we're in. Yes, we're too nice to white people. Right now, so when all of this COVID-19 stuff began, we had conversations in my household about this. I was like, if it come down to it, I mean, like seriously, dude, I'm black. I'm sticking with black, period. And I know that that's like just a hypothetical and all that, and we don't go off of hypotheticals, but I remember all of the shit that has gone on just in my little 40 plus years of life, and yeah, I can forgive, but that doesn't mean that I have to be friendly and nice to you, Barbara.
Yeah, and let me say this, and I think I agree with everything you said in regards to politics, Hillary Clinton, and not voting and things of that nature. But at the same time, I can show you where, or at least I can articulate why you're not wanting to vote. And when I say y'all, I don't mean like just you specifically. I mean us not wanting to vote is, I will almost say, it's part of this multi non-accountability we sort of we seem to innately have in us. Like you see these black politicians, and this is why sometimes these guys, they talk about how, well, look at these democratic cities, by these that are run by these black politicians, and nothing is done. And I think all politicians are the same. They do lie and things of that nature. But I think the whole not voting thing is almost like your child. You're raising your child. You're his parent. You want to see your child become somebody in this society, right? But you're gonna tell yourself, you know what, man, screw Johnny. No matter what I tell Johnny gonna do whatever he wants. So therefore, I'm not gonna ask him if he did his homework. I'm not gonna check. He can stay out as late as he wants. You know what? Fuck it. Johnny make me talk too much. No matter what I tell Johnny always does what Johnny wants. Guess what? You as a parent, you still gonna end up paying for his fuck up. When he gets locked up, he's gonna call you. You're gonna have to have that bail bond money. Like, you're gonna pay for it. Regardless, your inaction is still in action. You're still gonna pay for it. And I think the approach that this person is supposed to be this superhero, this non-blemished person, and this only highlights our lack of even wanting policies, because people will tell you, well, I'm not voting because they don't have policies for me. Well, that only shows that you don't really want them to have policies for you, because if you want them to have policies for you, you'll engage. And I'm not telling you should give them your vote for free. And I think what we don't do as Black people, and it only proved the point where I support your statement of not wanting to vote or whatnot, because there are many people that vote. They vote blindlessly. They just vote. They know they're gonna go in the booth and check a bunch of D's. These people, they're not doing any better than the people who are not voting.
Go ahead. We're gonna try to pass the mic around and let everybody say their last piece. 'Cause I don't want to be going on 4 hours loud tonight. But go ahead, Miss Lotus. We'll start with you. Go ahead and make your statement, and then make your final last piece on this whole topic.
Okay, so I want to just clarify in terms of the voting situation. I vote locally. In each local election, I'm going to be there. It's the presidential election that I do not vote in.
That's the most important one right now.
It is, but the president is determined by the Electoral College, not by the people.
And it's sister, and I'm gonna let you finish. If I can say one thing, allow me, Rich. I understand what you just said about the Electoral College. It does not quite work exactly that way, because the Electoral College go by the votes of the population. Trust me, the Electoral College
are not mandated to do so by law.
Right.
So by law, they're not required to vote. So if the people
and historically, how have they voted? Has there been any state that vote for left or right, and then the Electoral College voted differently for them? I don't think in history there has any been that.
On that one, I don't know, but I know that the members of the Electoral College are typically placed there, or they're voted in. So when you have Electoral College people of the Electoral College who are contributing to the presidential campaign, such as what occurred with President Trump and the owner of PayPal, who is a delegate for the state of California, then you have.
And he is a gay guy. He is a gay guy too, by the way, guys. Just to show you, gay people, not gay people. Oh my God, I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to say that. Oh, I wish I could say that.
Give me shut down, bro.
Oh, my bad. Alphabet people, they don't care about left or right or whatever. Supposedly the right is against that lifestyle, right? But guess what? He is a millionaire or billionaire. Guess what? He's voting for his interest that line his pocket. Guess what? Trump might go in there and vote for some policies that's against his lifestyle. But guess what? He has an interest that's bigger than who he sleeps in bed with.
Of course he does. He invested over $1 million towards his campaign. So, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was trying to get everybody to.
I'm sorry.
I know it's. I'm tired actually. So I'm trying to get everybody to say their last piece on the subject matter. So you want to give your last piece?
Yeah, Lotus Flower, I heard what you said about the coronavirus. I agree with some of it. I thought it was poignant. It was something we should know about, because everybody needs to wash their hands and make sure they're taking care of themselves. The issue that I come in is the international racism thing, because my thing is international. I got family all over the world, and I'm embedded. Like I said, I got family in Costa Rica, Colombia, Panama, Honduras, because we all travel. And like I said, my father's light skinned, my mother's dark. So I know how my father got treated. He didn't get treated as if he was black. He got treated as if he was white. So when he walked in a room, the woman would go, woo! My mother walked in, and my mother's really, really dark. My mother didn't get treated like that. Who the hell are you? And she got followed. So I saw both parts of it. I saw how you got treated if you're light skinned with straight hair. And I saw how you got treated when you're dark with natural hair. So it's completely different. But that was just my point of view. I mean, You guys got an awesome point of view. This is a great country. I really enjoy it. I hope everything goes well. But there is substantial amount of racism in Spanish country. We do not talk about it because nobody's going to hear it, and we have no power, we have no voice. And I would like you guys to know that if you go to Colombia, there's no black leaders in Colombia, no black leaders in Panama, no like in almost any Spanish country, because we have no voice. We have no Reverend Sharptons, and we have no NAACP. We have no mechanism that allows us to have a voice in this country. So therefore, we have no voice. So it seems like we're not there. So when I go and I talk to them, and they, as a matter of fact, they seek me out. And they always talk to me about it, but they don't talk to foreigners about this. I'm like, why don't you talk? Because we consider you guys foreigners. You don't have nothing invested in our country. No matter how much you think you are, we do not think that way. And it's sad. But when I go there, they constantly tell me about their plight and want me to talk about it. So this is my thing, music thing. We have no voice, but that's what I came in to say, that we don't have a voice in Spanish country, which is sad. That's my 2 cents.
All right, brother. The man, got any last words, brother?
Yeah, I want to real quick say, Salva, man, make sure you hit me up. You got my number, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Make sure you hit me up, man. All right.
I will, man. I'm looking forward to talking about really just your experiences, man. That's a place, a certain little city I want to visit. But go ahead.
Okay. All right. So thank you for having me on the panel. Yes, of course. The obvious is the obvious, man. They killed that young man because of the color of his skin. Racism is alive and well. They had the dude in the back of the bed of the truck standing up at a high point. Everybody knows when it comes to military and hunting, a high point is the vantage point, and he took a vantage point, and they went in the intention to kill. I'm not a lawyer. I can't argue the case back and forth, but it is what it is, and it's a sad case, man. Personally, I hope they get the death penalty. We'll see what happens.
All right. Go ahead.
I concur.
Me too.
All right, everybody get their last word, brother. Zop, do you want to give your last word?
Yeah, man, I'm sure looking forward to just, because what interests me is just like my everyday life and what goes on more so than, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. And so we got to talk, man. But, man, I'm going to tell you, man, a brother who really talks about the racism that exists in Latin America. I mean, I'm just like so on board with what he's talking about. But the young brother that got killed, man, first of all, I want to say this, man. I got love for everybody on the panel, man. I'm just thankful to be talking to people, thankful to be breathing, thankful to be, to have all my faculties. I agree with the sister who was, you voting for the devil. Who do you decide? I agree with all that. But I'm just thankful, man. And the young brother that got killed, man, that Trayvon Martin thing hurt. Trayvon Martin thing still haunts me. It haunts me, bro. To this day. I swear to God, man, and this gonna sound look crazy, man. If I could get George Zimmerman in a room with no weapons, I'd choke the shit out of him. Okay. Now, with this young man, I swear to God, man, I just have to be, I'm a little raw. But this thing hurts, man. This thing hurts, man. These are our children, man. We have to have some degree of connection to this young man, man. This dude was just murdered. They chased him down, and it just, so I'ma just end there, man. It's painful as hell. And any white person, if black people were doing white people like this, they would feel the same frustration and pain that I feel. And I'll stop right there.
Thanks, bro. Bellagino, you say you want one more thing?
Yeah, in regards to some of the stuff that Brinjor was saying, I totally can understand it. I think part of the problem is that a lot of the times we are translating things strictly from an American point of view perspective, and it's a little bit, sometimes we have kind of to have to look at it from the Colombian perspective or whatnot, because if you look at the percentage of blacks here in America, I'm not. I don't know. It's probably no more than 20%. If that.
It's 13%.
If that.
13%.
13%. Okay, 13%. But when you look at the percentage, when you look at the percentage of the Black Brazilians in Brazil,
51%.
it's a huge chunk.
51%. Brazil is 51%.
50.
They have no leadership. They have no Black leadership in Brazil.
How much? How much? 50.
51% of Brazilians are Black, or I'll go with diaspora. And they have no.
Yeah.
No power.
Yeah, I think.
TV.
Yeah, they have no power at all. I think this is such an extensive conversation that as Black YouTubers and Black travelers that we probably I think that's a segment of topics that we have not explored and we probably should, and especially brothers like Brent George and having some Blacks who have somewhat of a unique.
Can I say one thing? I have a friend from Honduras, Black. I got a ton of Black, and that's the thing that kills me. I have a ton of Black friends in the United States that are Spanish. And when we get together, our conversation is completely different. And I'm gonna bring him here one day. You can see our conversation is completely different than what you guys have. We're Black Spanish, and the first thing we say to each other is, "These racist motherfuckers." The first thing we say is, "They don't understand us." We're she's a racist light skin, or she's a racist this, or what. We could talk completely different. Even when I talked to my friend from Honduras yesterday, because she works with me, the first thing she was talking to me about is, right, they don't understand how racist they move for Black people, because I could relate to her. And when I stand on this panel, I hear Black people talking about, there's no racism in Spanish country. It's not as bad. I'm like, shit, we got it worse because we have no voice. You have voices here. You have an Abstract, an NAACP. You have lawyers. We have no voice. We have no power. So when we come in, we have no voice. So it's different voice, and you guys are getting mad because you have a voice and you can scream. We can't even scream, so you don't hear it. When you come with an American privilege, and I'm extending to Black people. When you come with American privilege, you don't see it either. So you come with this perspective that there's no racism here because I got money. I'm I can see some of it, but I don't.
And you know what makes it a little bit more complex, Brinjor, is the class aspect of it. And Reach, I'm gonna terminate real quick. Give me a second. It's the class aspect of it. It gets to be a little bit more complex than just the American, even though the American racism, class is a part of it. Whereas, in other places, it's not only Black and white or mestizos or skin shade, it's class. Whereas, the same thing will happen in Haiti. It's not so much Black and white, even though there is some of it, fair skin and all that stuff, the mulattoes with all the wealth and things of that nature. But on a deeper level, it gets into wealth. I'm gonna say one last thing about George Zimmerman. As a black person who understand where my ancestors are from, as a black person who can look at a Nigerian movie and know, just look at the reaction, the way they talk, and know that my parents, my grandparents, they've never been to Nigeria, they've never been anywhere in West Africa, but the way they talk, some of the same shit they do when they suck their teeth, you would have thought me and that Nigerian were raised together. That means we're connected. And as a black person, the show's over. Oh shoot. as a black person who's still with my connection and understand my connection to my spirituality, George Zimmerman, I would have, if I had to sell my soul to the devil, trust me, us Haitian, we don't have to put hands on you. But trust me, if I have to spend my whole life doing voodoo to get you, I will. If that was my brother, if that was my brother, I swear to God, I would have found a solution.
Don't say that word. Don't say that. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. You two watching, man.
And that's probably why
we
need to tap in. We need to tap back in our real spiritualities and leave these blonde hair, blue eyes Jesus.
All right, shout out to Lotus Flower for the Cash App donation. Appreciate it. Thanks for everybody being on the panel, man. It's 1:30 here. I don't know what time it is where y'all at, but I gotta get some rest in, man. We'll do another show.
Right.
Appreciate everybody coming on. And
Jermaine, I'm
good
gonna hit
night,
you up,
man.
man. I'm gonna hit you up. We're gonna just talk for about 2 hours about just your experiences over there.
Not tonight, though. Not tonight, though. I got to work in the morning.
Exactly.
My closing statement is it's kind of piggybacking off what Kevin Cito said, man. Like when you're in these situations, man, I'm not saying his brother wrong for what he did, but I'm just saying, like, try to keep calm, collected, man. Try to be cool. You know, when you get pulled over by an officer, man, don't, why you pull me on? Try to be calm as you can and think about situations before you respond, man. Because
But you know, Rich, I'm gonna say this, man, to that, man.
I'm not
that
saying
really,
the brother was wrong. I'm not saying
no,
that.
what I'm saying, there's nothing Trayvon Martin could have done. I don't know if two white boys there's nothing they could have done to save their own lives.
I'm just talking in general. I'm talking about a lot of these guys getting killed by.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, in general. But I agree, Trayvon, you know, in this guy's case, I mean, somebody got a shotgun in front of you. They've been chasing you. I'm going to grab the fucking gun too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying he was wrong. I'm just saying, like, us as brothers, man, let's control our tempers. You know, just control yourself, man, when, you know, you're in these situations, man. I mean, if you're in a dark alley with a police officer and he's trying to do something to you, man, defend yourself. Absolutely. But if you're in a situation where you're in public, you got other people watching you, you know, conduct yourself as a, you know, just conduct yourself better, man. Just, you know, because it's going to look bad when you're on the tape talking, oh, man, fuck you, man. Nah, he shot you. So they're going to come to court and say, oh, he was aggressive. Oh, he was. But if you calm and collective and he does something, at least you can say on the tape, hey, man, I was conducting myself as a professional. I was, you know. But if you on the tape saying, oh, man, fuck you, and they use that against you, man.
And you know what, Rich? Rich, these cases that we have problems with, those are never the cases. People following the law, wearing their pants up. We talking about innocent people who have done everything right and they still get killed. That's what should really be the angle, because I get it, man. I agree with you. But them people ain't even in the conversation. Them people, them situations, Trayvon Martin, the brother that got killed in Jacksonville playing his music loud, you know, just like I told another brother in the group, when we are talking about black people getting killed doing everything right, don't, you know, that all that other side stuff don't matter no more. That's not a part of the conversation. I get it. But this young man, including the brother, they were doing everything right. I mean, because when you get killed, white people will say to you, if you get robbed in a lot of Latin American countries, they do the same thing. You should have had dogs. Oh, well, you should have had a security guard. Oh, well, you should. They bring up every excuse instead of dealing with the people who robbed you.
I get it. I'm just making a general statement. And that's why I said that in the beginning. I'm making a general statement about us dealing with police officers. It's nothing to really do with the case.
You're right, Rich.
Yeah.
You're right, Rich. I think there are some. There are some instances where we've seen some instances where maybe the Michael Brown situation, in which we don't really know all the facts because it's not fully videotaped. But I mean, there are some places where we could use an overwhelming amount of caution, right? But it's just to show you how racist this country is, because You know, all of these precautions and we have to take. Nonetheless, you never hear that a white person they have to use all of these precautions and things of that nature. But again, though, when you know your oppressor's history, when you know your opponent, if you've had like 2-3 fights with somebody, you're a boxer, on your 4th, 5th fight, you should know some of their techniques, and you should have kept that in mind. And I think that's some of our downfall. We should already know what's up with them, and we should try to do our best.
Right.
Good night, everybody. Appreciate y'all coming out. Thanks.
All right, man.
Peace.